Hey folks, welcome back, or of course, welcome to Lone Pine Tarot for the first time if you're new here. And as I always say, thank you so much for joining me for our Pick a Card reading today. And today's reading is what I call a positivity boost reading because we're asking Spirit the question, what are the abundance and blessings that you're about to harvest? Perfectly fitting for this time of year, though of course, you can always watch my readings year-round. They're always timeless. So without further ado, let us choose our piles to pick our messages with. We're choosing once again with different tarot decks today. So for pile number 1 over here on the left with the golden backed card, your tarot deck is the Tarot of the Golden Wheel. We have the 9 of Pentacles from that deck here. For pile number 2 here in the middle, you have the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot. Let's unveil what that 9 of Pentacles looks like. And of course, last but not least, for our wonderful pile number 3 here on the right, you have the Ethereal Visions Tarot. And here is your 9 of Pentacles from that particular deck. So just a quick refresher, pile 1, Tarot of the Golden Wheel. Pile 2, Ghosts and Spirits Tarot, and pile 3 is the Ethereal Visions Tarot, though as I always say, you're perfectly welcome to pause right here if you need more time to decide what pile you would like read for you. If you're new to Pick a Card readings and you want my suggestion for a choosing method, or perhaps you've had a really stressful, busy day, makes perfect sense for this time of year and you just want to take a moment to find your bliss, find some peace. If so, please follow my voice right now. Close your eyes and take in a deep, cleansing breath. Imagine light filling your lungs as you do so, then hold it for just a few moments. And then when you breathe back out again, open your eyes and look at the 3 different options before you. Which one draws your eye the most? Which one feels, well, most right, I guess I would say, down in your gut and your intuition, okay? And that is the pile I recommend that you choose. But whatever your method, whenever you are ready, drop down to the description box below or the top pinned comment. Find the timestamps there for your pile, and I'll see you in our chat about the abundance and the blessings that you're about to harvest. See you in the reading. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 1. Welcome today to your Pick a Card reading about the abundance and blessings you're about to harvest. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to Tarot of the Golden Wheel for your deck today. Now, when we choose with tarot decks, I like to put the main card right back into said deck so that it's available for the message if need be. And let's shuffle from Spirit right now to tell us more about, well, what is the abundance and what are the blessings you're about to harvest. So, Spirit, for the highest best good of pile 1 today, could you tell us more about the story of where this abundance and these blessings are coming from, as well as what they are? Okay, about half the deck just spilled over. As much as I would love to take that many cards, we're going to shuffle one more time. Thank you, Spirit. Okay, maybe that's a good sign that there are a lot of blessings and abundance for you, pile 1, but okay, thank you, Spirit. Okay, I feel drawn to start here, so let's draw your 5 cards to begin. Beautiful. And then we're also going to draw one of the Oracle decks to start as well for you, pile number 1, using the Earthly Souls and Spirit's Moon Oracle. Tell us more, Spirit. Thank you. Okay, I'm feeling drawn to this part of the deck. And I'm feeling drawn to this card. Let's unveil your cards today, pile 1. Thank you for your patience as I shuffled. So, to begin from your Oracle deck, we have Rejoice. Well, that is a very beautiful message to get right off the bat. Of course, this is already a blessings reading, but this is just a double heaping of good good tidings, I meant to say, on top of the topic at hand. We have Looks like a figure. She's holding the moon in her hand. She's got stars above. There's a barn owl down at her feet. Bright, happy colors, lots of yellow and gold and pink. So, of course, with those color associations, I think of not only self-love, love in general, especially from the universe to you, as well as the gold, of course, makes me think of maybe some financial success. We'll see what pops out in your tarot cards as well. I do want to make sure that I put them out on the table and get the whole entire picture before I say for certain, but that's intuitively what I'm hearing first off the bat for you, pile number 1. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different stars. We'll see if the number 6 is prominent. 6 can sometimes relate to healing. Let's see, we have the 10 of Wands reversed. Okay, beautiful. We'll talk about all of these and their meanings in a second. And look at that vibrant, beautiful purple and pink there, pile number 1. Lots of that in your reading today. Not often that I see those colors quite prominently in like decks together for a spread. Lots of pink. Emotional healing, maybe self-love, as I said before, love from the universe, as we discussed. Let's keep going. Then we have, okay, another great sign, the Chariot, more gold too. More of that gold we discussed earlier. Yes, success. Beautiful. Okay. Number 3, the 10 of Pentacles. Okay, also a fantastic card to get. Let's keep going. Let's see what else pops out. The 3 of Cups. Wonderful. Everything is great across the board here, pile 1. And the 9 of Cups. How awesome. Okay, I'm going to tell you this right now, pile number 1, and I don't sugarcoat readings. So you know when I say that a spread looks really good, I really do mean a spread looks really good. You have the positivity of, like, every single card except the 10 of Wands is a great card. You have the Chariot, which is like driving forward, things coming under control. You have the 10 of Pentacles, which is like financial success, especially when it comes to things related to like family security and whatnot, and like inheritance or legacy type related things. You have the 3 of Cups, which is like social happiness and celebration and success, and the 9 of Cups too is emotional satisfaction, and sometimes it's also known as the wishes granted card. Now, literally the only technically quote-unquote negative card you got here, pile 1, is the 10 of Wands at the very beginning here. But the beautiful answer is that the 10 of Wands is reversed. That is the facet that changes it from kind of a negative thing to a positive thing. Because the 10 of Wands reversed, pile number 1, indicates the releasing of a burden of some sort. Because you can see here, I'll pull out the cards so you can understand the picture a little bit closer. So typically upright, he's got a blindfold on, he's got the wands in his hands, he's almost about to drop some, he's only walking on 1 foot. Things are a little precarious, things are a little heavy to bear. But now his burden releases, because with the 10 of Wands reversed, it's like, okay, he can finally let go of that weight. So pile number 1, where this blessing is coming from in your life, and this is the part that will help you understand more details about like specificity of where this is coming from, okay, is an area of your life where you've been feeling a lot of burdens recently. That's why the inciting incident, or first card I like to call it, is that 10 of Wands reversed. It's literally let go of the burdens. You can let down the heavy weight upon your back, things like that. And the beautiful message on top of it, of course all the other cards are fantastic, don't get me wrong, is that you have the Chariot right next to it, pile number 1. And the Chariot is a card of driving forward with control. He's the charioteer, he's got the horses under his control, he's got a nice flag flowing behind him of victory and success. Of course, we have a lot of that like gold color popping up again. I mean, even more so than typical for this deck, because I know it's technically called Tarot of the Golden Wheel, but I mean, beautiful abundance of gold here, which, like I said, I always associate kind of like with success. Okay. Driving forward, things are going to speed up a lot. So especially too, not just where things have been feeling like a really heavy burden recently, pile number 1, or like, is that burden going to lighten up? It's like literally lightening a load in your car or at your metaphorical chariot. Things are going to go a lot faster because you have less burden. So for some of you, I intuitively feel like this blessing is kind of like, I don't know if some of you recently have been having a lot of I don't know what's the best word, like overbearing too much work at work. Like maybe someone quit and then you had to like take over part of their job, or like you've got like a skeleton crew running your department at your work, or you know, whatever store you work at, depending on the type of job that you have. And it's like, oh my God, there's so much on your back. And you're like, oh, I can't handle all this. There's just so much extra stress. That lightens up and is like, whoosh, now you can go forward on just your work rather than having to do the work of others, especially for those of you that does apply to. But that's just one example I give here, just for you to kind of understand where I'm seeing this and like how that applies. As I always say, kind of retake what I said and apply it to your own situation if that doesn't specifically describe your situation. But that, my friends, then moves on from that lightening the load, things go full speed ahead, and then you have the Ten of Pentacles, which in this particular case, you know, some of you, it might be related to family and inheritance. For those of you that relates to, I see really good tidings in that area too. For those of you where it's not really like a family inheritance thing that you're seeing apply here, I kind of see that card more than as a sign that all the work that you've done in the past, now you're going to inherit a lot of benefit out of all of the hard work that you did before with that heavy burden up until this point. So not only are you going to have the burden relieved, pile one, you're also going to get a really good reward for it too. Not just the reward of maybe financial success, or at least more stability there, especially with the Ten of Pentacles, because Pentacles are the earth suit, tends to deal with career and finances and things like that. But you also have the Three of Cups, which is like social success. That is the card of parties, social gatherings, a group of people getting along, people cheering and toasting. Sometimes it can literally mean like a social group of people, which could be like your workplace, for example, or it could also be a literal celebration of some sort. So, I mean, this is whatever you've been doing, and I know it's been so hard so far, pile one. I know that it's been like backbreaking work. I promise you this is going to pay off here with all of these cards having come forward. This is a beautiful spread. And then at the very end, we have the Nine of Cups, emotional satisfaction, enjoying the fruits of your, especially emotional labor, being the Nine of Cups, because cups is water that has to deal with your heart and your emotions. So yes, not only are you going to have like the outside satisfaction of like monetary inheritance from all the work that you've put in here, pile number one, you're also going to have like social acknowledgement or like acceptance with this, maybe even just with some sort of celebration at the end. I don't know. I'm trying to think of like how that would apply to all of you. Like, I don't know if you, I guess it depends on your workplace. Some workplaces have like social get-togethers and whatnot. That, or it'll bring you to like a place of people that are like socially get along. Like, especially for those of you maybe who have lost a job and the burden maybe has been like trying to search for a job. That's a really good sign that you're going to get along well with the people there. Okay. And then they have the Nine of Cups, wishes granted, emotional satisfaction. He's having a grand old time. He's comfortable. He is enjoying, it looks like kind of wine, I think, probably because of the red color. I would assume it's wine, just like we had here with the cheering and the Three of Cups. So not only is it like outward acknowledgement here with the Three of Cups, it's like internal acknowledgement of, oh, I did a great job, pat myself on the back. Okay, so really beautiful things. And then, yeah, we have Rejoice, too, as you recall with the first Oracle card that came out. So pile one, there's really a strong element, too, of some sort of social reward as well because of Rejoice, as well as the Three of Cups, like celebration of some sort. So I might even expect some of you, for some reason, I don't know, like I said, it depends on your workplace, but for some of you, for some reason, it might be like you literally get, like, some sort of award at work or with this, or like acknowledgement of some sort with other people. It's because of like such a celebratory rejoice kind of message that keeps being repeated. Let's look at your other Oracle cards to be sure, though. I want to see what other facets come out with your message. But yeah, beautiful across the board, pile number one. So wherever you've been feeling that burden recently, it's going to be relieved. You're going to get something that you've very much so earned from all of that burden and effort. Things are going to speed up. And there's a lot of social and internal emotional happy feelings surrounding this at the end of it, especially. Okay, so let's see here. Let's do your Vintage Wisdom Oracle first. Spirit, anything else you want to say about the abundance and blessings for pile number 1 here? I just see things too in general, pile 1, everything going a bit smoother, maybe especially recently because of the extra stress. Things have been kind of bumpy and you've been so busy, and then now it's just like smooth sailing, whereas it was like rough, choppy waters before. I also feel like you're going to have more time for yourself rather than for like having to spend so much time on other people. That's another thing coming forward prominently, especially because of the 9 of Cups there at the end. And I don't know what it is. For some reason, pile 1, and this is just like a communal thing, I feel like I intuitively get a really good sense for our community about this incoming. Well, here in the Northern Hemisphere, it'll be like autumn or fall. There's something really good coming for a lot of us, I feel like. Oh, hope. Okay, kind of similar to rejoice, but a bit of a different message. Something maybe you've been hoping for, something you've been praying for. You can even see like her hands there. Looks like she's got her hands folded. Hands are folded. She's like, oh, please, 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 I want this thing. And then let me look at it's really hard to see on camera. I apologize, you won't be able to see it, pile number 1, but there's ornaments on the tree and they have different messages. So curiosity, joy, peace, purity, temperance, and truth, it looks like it says. Okay, and there's even a dove there too on the tree, which also speaks of peace, right? Lots of peace coming your way after a time of lots of hectic energy. That too, once again, it's like this prominent energy of things being a lot smoother for you, pile number 1. Okay, a lot more time to yourself in a good way. Okay. And then let's look at your Hidden Worlds Oracle. Spirit, any other messages or advice for them or facets to this message for them? Thank you. Okay. I'm not seeing any number synchronicity quite yet, other than you had 2 different 10s. 10s are about completion and success, just good tidings all around. This one says, pick me, so the Mother awakens. Number 3, so we do have 2 3s now too. Okay, groups of people. Compassion, nurture, and guidance. Interesting. Before I speak on that one, pile 1, I'm going to draw your last oracle card and see if there's any other... Actually, wait, before I do that, I'm going to draw one more tarot card on the Mother Awakens, because now we have kind of a new message coming through. It might be kind of a separate blessing. Spirit, can you give me one tarot card to explain a little bit more on the Mother Awakens? Thank you. What do you mean by that? Compassion, nurture, and guidance. What do you mean by that? And then, of course, we have the rainbow, which I always see as a sign of happy things after hard times. There we go. Oh, the Tower. What a plot twist. Interesting. You know, because typically pile number 1, the Tower represents, and don't run away from the reading, but just hear me out. Typically the Tower represents a disaster of some sort, like this building being on fire, or it represents something toppling over that needed to fall down or was kind of built on shaky foundations in the first place. I'm hearing an intuitive message here that there's something that's going... It either already happened, pile number 1, or it's going to happen. And don't be scared, just hear me out. Because I'm hearing intuitively that at first, if it hasn't already happened yet, you're going to feel like there is a major disaster that happens. But it's kind of like a reverse Uno of, oh, wait a minute, it's actually not that bad. That's what I'm hearing with that particular card, because... It almost feels like a situation of some sort where it's either like you make a mistake, but it was like an honest mistake, or you do something along those lines where you're like, oh God, I made like a huge screw up. But then because of the Mother Awakens, it's like telling you that, well, don't worry. The people involved are not going to be like that angry about it. Or it's like you're going to find something out about it that it's like not as bad as you thought it would be, and you're not going to get like the repercussions for it that you thought you would. It's something along those lines, especially with compassion being like one of the keywords. It makes me think of like, you know, ooh, I made a mistake. Oh God, it's a disaster. But people understand in the situation because they're compassionate. Or it could also be too that maybe you fear that there's some sort of disaster coming here too, pile number 1. Like maybe you fear getting like laid off or something, or you fear, I'm trying to think of different things. Like you fear like a relationship falling apart, or you fear whatever you're kind of like majorly fearing is going to go really wrong. Pile number 1. It's going to go better than you think it will because of that Mother Awakens. It's like compassion, nurture, guidance. You're going to be kind of guided through things a bit more than you expect. People involved are going to be a bit more compassionate than you expect. Let's look at your Nature's Whispers too, just to make sure, because it might be related here, pile 1. There we go. This one right here we have. Ooh, make a decision. This card comes up a lot with our community whenever I use this deck. Number 11, so 11, 1. And she's kind of caught between two different worlds. She has a lush jungle on the right, and she has almost like it's Egyptian, obviously, because there's the pyramids of Giza down there, as well as like hieroglyphics, right? On her wing. Make a decision, being caught between two different worlds. You know, I almost wonder, pile 1, if it's some sort of decision that you made in the past that you fear it was like a really bad one, but it turns out a lot better than you think it will, or it's a decision that you make and your immediate reaction is, oh crap, what a disaster, I made the wrong choice, but then you realize, oh wait a minute, actually this is better than I thought. It's something along those lines. Let me draw some more clarifiers here too. Anything else, Spirit, with that make a decision in this whole tower moment that they think it's like a tower moment, but it really isn't? We have the Knight of Swords, something happening quickly, taking action with the mind or logic and communication. Interesting. I almost wonder if it's like you feel like you made a choice too quickly. Or you made a choice, if this is future tense, like if you're like, oh, this hasn't happened already, Lone Pine Tarot, what are you talking about? Like if this is a future thing, it's like, you might be a little hasty to say something quickly, and then you're like, oh crap, I said that too fast. But then it turns out okay, because it's like the other person or people involved are a lot more compassionate than you think. So when that comes up, pile number 1, if it hasn't happened already, just know that it's not as big of a faux pas as you think it will be. Like, it's kind of a blessing, actually. Like, I feel like there's some thread here, too, that, like, actually there's a good reason why you say whatever you say that you think is like, oh crap, I did it too fast, or I said that too fast. It actually leads to like a better outcome than had you kept silent, or like had you made the other decision or choice. Okay. And then last but not least, I do want to get just some more like specific clarifiers here on like what the abundance is too, especially because we talked about like the 10 of Pentacles, because I said in general like, oh, you're going to get something for the hard work and the burden that you've been bearing, but let's get more specificity here. So let's cap off the reading with that. So Spirit, for pile number 1, can you tell me more about like the abundance they're getting for the burden that they were bearing? What form does that come in? Lots of blessings all around. This is just a great spread, pile number 1, other than the Tower. But like I said, I think because of that was clarifying some of the Oracle cards, it's actually not as bad as you think, or like that card typically would be. Hope, things that you've been hoping for, compassion. I feel like people are going to be a lot more understanding in the near future for you. It's just one of those periods of time in life where it's like, oh, a lot of people are just kind of like, oh, whatever, it's fine. Like just a stronger energy of compassion in your circles for some reason. All right, the abundance, the 5 of Swords reversed. Okay, avoiding conflict, and then the 8 of Pentacles, something you've been working really hard on. Okay, so the abundance, pile number 1, that I talked about earlier, about like when I said you're going to like inherit something good based on what you did in the past, or if like maybe it literally is a message of inheritance for you, if that's how that applies to your life right now, if that's applicable, that 10 of Pentacles. So it's like they're saying specifically that this reward, so to speak, is something to do with, avoiding conflict and being hard at work. Avoiding a conflict and being hard at work. Yeah, it's like, I think you're fearing a lot more social backlash, or like you're fearing a lot more like arguments, but actually like things are not going to be as socially tempestuous as you think they will be. Like things are going to be a lot smoother than you expect, pile number 1. Maybe you thought you would have had to kind of fight for whatever this reward is because of the 5 of Swords, but with it being reversed, it's like, oh wait, no, you're not going to have to fight. People in the situation will see very clearly that they want to reward you based on the hard work that they recognize, because that's the 8 of Pentacles, pile number 1, is this is like a blacksmith. He's working very hard at forging these different pentacles or wheels. So it's like people in the situation understand, oh yes, pile 1 really did work hard on that. Maybe in the past you've had issues with people actually like acknowledging you for what you've done and rewarding you like properly for it. This is a situation where you're not going to have that struggle or that conflict. Okay, that's kind of what they're saying in terms of details on this reward. So in general, pile number 1, a beautiful bunch of blessings and abundance coming your way. I do see, like I said, things slowing down and getting smoother, time for you to rejoice, also more personal time. That was a theme that came up too. Things that you've been hoping for, you've been praying for, you'll get some of those answered. Avoiding disasters, or it's like things that you think at the time were bad actually turn out a lot better than they, like, you think they will. And then too, like a choice that you make that maybe at first you kind of regret, or, you know, you're like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't have gone that particular path. It actually turns out better that way in the end anyways. Okay, so that's kind of a summary of the blessings coming for you in the near future. So your hard work is going to be rewarded. I do see that. Yeah, just a really, really good time of abundance for you, pile 1. Fantastic spread. So I was very happy to be able to deliver that message to you. I hope it made your day. I hope, of course, most of all, that it helped you. That's what I care about most with my readings. So if so, please like the video, comment down below your story, your feedback, etc., as well as subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 1. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 2. Welcome today to your pick a card reading about the abundance and blessings you're about to harvest. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to use the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot for your deck today. Now, as we always do when we pick with decks, I like to put the pile leader right back into said deck so it's available for the message. And let us shuffle right now. So for the highest best good of pile 2 Spirit, please come forward and tell us a little bit more about the story of the abundance and blessings coming their way soon. What are they about to harvest? Okay, we already got 2 that popped forward. Magician reversed and the Queen of Swords reversed. We'll discuss those in a little bit here when we're done shuffling. Let's grab the last 3 cards. Thank you, Spirit. Right there. Okay. And we're also going to draw one of the Oracle decks to begin from the Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle. What else do you want to say about the situation? Spirit, thank you for their abundance and blessings. Oh, definitely that one. Okay. Thank you, Spirit, and thank you for your patience while I shuffled pile number 2. So as we said, you have the Magician reversed and the Queen of Swords. Let's actually, typically I'd do the Oracle card first, but some of your tarot already revealed itself, so we'll do the rest of your tarot cards just to keep consistency. So your third card today was the Knight, oh, I'm sorry, not the Knight. That is the 8 of Wands reversed. Okay. Then we have the 2 of Swords, lots of swords energy, lots of air, a little bit of fire. And we have the 6 of Swords reversed. Yes, lots of air. Okay. So I see a lot of blessings regarding the mind here. Things with like maybe mental stress or things that you've been anxious about recently. That tends to be the areas of life that the sword suit represents in tarot, but we'll talk about that more in detail. Your Oracle card today is Mystical. finding the magic in the mundane. Interesting. With a red coat, there's a black cat. She's got, of course, the pentacle up here, pentagram, and then the 2 candles on either side. And especially, too, with the abundance of purple. Well, red makes me think, of course, of like ambitions and passions. Purple, of course, is the color of spirituality and strength in that area. So a lot of your blessings pile, too, coming up soon. I think there will be outward manifestations. I don't think it's going to be like completely intangible, but a lot of these blessings are going to be more on the spiritual, mental side of things. I can tell you that already. Mystical. I almost feel like some of you are going to... I'm hearing something about you receiving more signs of something. More signs of something. I'm going to draw one more clarifier on that, too. What are the signs they're going to see more of? Spirit, thank you. With the mystical card, thank you. The 4 of Wands. In that particular depiction is... I don't know quite what creature that is, but it is kind of almost like a goblin or sort of elven, gnome-looking creature in the woods. In the forest, a little bit next to a river. Something to do with like nature-related signs is what I'm feeling. And especially, too, the 4 of Wands is the card of the home and the card of celebration. So something around your home a lot, too. I don't say this very often, pile number 2. I don't really bring up stuff like ghosts or like home-related stuff a lot in my readings, but hey, I mean, you were drawn to the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot, so maybe that was for a reason. I think some of you, for any of you that have been having issues recently with some sort of spirit activity at your home, I don't want to say necessarily that I'm seeing like maybe as bad as like a poltergeist. Maybe some of you that is the case, though. That's going to be reduced. So one of your blessings, especially on the spiritual side of things, pile 2, is you're going to kind of see that calm down, because the 4 of Wands, like I said, is the card of the home, and then like the mystical card here makes me think of like greater protection in the home. Okay, greater spiritual strength. You're going to have a lot more spiritual strength here in the near future too. Okay, we'll put that right next to mystical. So for those of you that have been having maybe some kind of upset spiritual energy in your home recently, part of your blessings is that's going to improve. All right. I mean, of course, I always, recommend smudging helps, right? Different, I'm trying to think of like different things. I typically do like incense and smudging personally, but for those of you that have different methods that you want to share, feel free to drop them down in the comments down below. I know sometimes people will put like salt over certain areas, thresholds and whatnot, blessings, prayer, etc., whatever is your preference, but that will be stronger soon, so that's one of them. All right, now, the main tarot spread, like we said, we have the Magician reversed, Queen of Swords reversed, the 8 of Wands reversed, the 2 of Swords, and the 6 of Swords reversed. So, lots of mental energy here, pile number 2. I think recently, because the Magician reversed was your first card, I call that like the inciting incident. That's kind of what this all stems from. The Magician reversed can represent a time where we felt like we were unable to manifest things. I don't know if for some reason recently, like you've been having a little bit more of a struggle with like your spiritual energy. Maybe something's been draining you a lot in terms of, like, I know sometimes when we're tired and we're stressed, we're not really feeling up to meditating or doing anything like that. Or maybe you do that even more when you're tired and stressed. I guess it depends. Sometimes you're just like, oh man, I just want to veg out and calm down. I don't want to do anything, right? Just want to Netflix for hours, right? Or whatever you do for your calming down activities. And that, I think, is what's part of what's going to change. So part of the abundance and blessings is that whatever you've been feeling spiritually weak about recently, that's strengthening. We talked about that. But then also things that you're trying to manifest, you're going to see that kind of improve. You do have some different facets of information here with the Queen of Swords reversed as well as the 8 of Wands reversed. Coming up next, it's telling a story of, especially the Queen of Swords reversed, it's like maybe some confusion as to why things were not going very well recently. Like maybe you've just been dealt like a lot of bad universal luck too recently, because the Queen of Swords reversed can represent internally someone who's kind of like confused as to why things are happening like within themselves in terms of like spiritual things or like mentally, right? Like maybe you've just been kind of down recently and you don't know why, you know, or like there's been a lot of things thrown at you recently where you just try to like logic and reason them out, which the Queen of Swords is like a queen of logic and reason, right? But reversed, it's like her energy has been kind of blocked. She's like, man, I'm so confused. I don't know why this is happening. So that's part of what's going to change here, okay? Because this is like a blessings abundance reading. And two, it's like maybe things have been kind of a slog as well because of the Eight of Wands here, pile number 2. The Eight of Wands can represent things like slowing down or taking too long. I kind of call it like the molasses card, especially when it's reversed, because it's like walking through molasses or like walking through mud. It's so slow and you're like, man, checking your watch, universe, when are you going to send some abundance my way? Universe, when are you going to fix these spiritual problems for me or help me with them? Of course, sometimes there is responsibility on your end too, pile number 2, but sometimes it is in the universe's hand too. So that's what's going to change here after this period of, you know, maybe some spiritual activity in the home. It hasn't been the greatest. After some time of, you know, things just feel like they're not manifesting. Things have been confusing. Same thing too with the Eight of Wands. Things have been slow, especially reversed. That's what's parts is going to like change. The reason why that's going to change, pile number 2, is because you have the Two of Swords here. The Two of Swords here in the near future position is the card of being able to make a choice. Now, sometimes it can reflect indecision, kind of being caught between two different options. But I think for you, especially after these negative cards, and especially because this is like a blessings reading, right? The blessing that's coming is a choice to move away from this. So you're going to be given a choice here in the near future. I'll draw a clarifier on that just because I want to know like what the choice is. I'm sure you do too, pile number 2, but and then it's a choice that will help you move on from a lot of this stuff that's been slogging you down, because the Six of Swords here, pile number 2, well, it came out reversed technically, which that can represent a time of like we feel like we're being held back, we feel like we can't move forward, or we can't move to better pastures or greener pastures, I should say. So maybe even like literally you've been trying to move your home or like move to a new place, but things have been slogging down for reasons that just don't make any sense. It's just like, why does the universe keep sending this chaos my way? I just want things to go smoothly. In which case, because of the Two of Swords next to the Six of Swords reversed, that choice is going to give you that opportunity to turn that Six of Swords around, pile number 2. But yes, let's draw another clarifier on the choice with the Two of Swords. I want to know kind of what maybe the choice is. So Spirit, could you give me a bit more clarity for pile number 2 on the Two of Swords choice? Thank you. What's the choice? Okay. And then I also want to ask them if they can specifically tell us what's going to go faster. So let's do a card for the choice, and then we'll do a card on the what's going faster. Okay, choice, Spirit, thank you. Clarifier on that, thank you. We've got the Nine of Pentacles reversed, which is what was your pile leader card in the beginning, but it came out reversed. Okay, so a choice regarding finally being able to reap the fruits of your labor that you haven't been able to get before, because the Nine of Pentacles being reversed is like, right now this is blocked. Right now you're not getting the fruits of your labor out of something, but with this clarifying the Two of Swords, it's like a choice finally to be able to reap the fruits of your labor in some way. Okay, and then the Eight of Wands reversed too, like what's going to speed up or what's going to get faster. Okay, what's coming faster. All right, can you clarify the Eight of Wands, Spirit? Thank you. Reversed. Okay, that's a lot of cards. Oh boy. All right, we're going to take all 4 of these. I'm going to have to put them back in the deck, pile number 2, so I apologize if they're not like on the table the whole entire time, but I just don't have the room for all these cards, but I will read them for you. So let's look. We have the Ace of Pentacles reversed, the Eight of Swords reversed, the Knight of Cups reversed, and then this card came out this way. We have the Four of Pentacles reversed. Oh boy, what are all these reversals today, too? I feel like your life is just, maybe it's been kind of topsy-turvy lately, pile number 2. Everything feels like it's been spun on its head. Because you literally, out of every single card that you got, only 2 have been upright. All the rest of them have been reversed. So lots of blockages and energies here, but it's like finally that opens up. So the Eight of Wands reversed. Okay, so lacking opportunity. that was trapping you in some way. Couldn't take action based on what you were feeling, and then you had to, they're saying something about a situation, pile number 2, apologies for the wait, it just, all these cards came out, and I was like, wait a minute, what's this? Where the slowdown was related to you waiting for some opportunity to come forward, but like it just wasn't coming forward because of that Ace of Pentacles reversed here that popped out first. And the problem with that was, pile number 2, is it trapped you in some way with that Eight of Swords reversed. You're like, man, I'm stuck here. I want this opportunity. I want to be able to go forward, but things are slowing down because I'm waiting for this opportunity as sort of like the key to the gateway to the door to get moving, right? And then it's like it blocked things in terms of taking action on your emotions. Maybe it was blocking something in a relationship, especially because of the Knight of Cups. You know, his suit is of emotions and relationships, right? And then the Four of Pentacles reversed too makes me think, because that's the card pile too, of having to like give more, of having to like throw more resources into something. So it's almost like maybe you've had to spend more money, especially for those of you that have been trying to move and you can't. It's like you having to spend more money stuck in one place before you can move because things just keep popping up. Like maybe random repairs kept coming up and you're like, oh man, I gotta like throw out more money even though I just want to get moving, like literally to like a new home. That's might be how it resonates with some of you, especially with that Four of Wands we discussed earlier. But in general, as I always say, kind of take that as it resonates to your situation. But the good news is like that's what's improving here, pile number 2, because of it being a blessings reading, okay? So not only are you going to have a choice, with the clarifier here we had for the Two of Swords, a choice for the greater ability to reap the fruits of your labor. Okay, so you're going to have less of putting work in and getting like nothing out of it. You're going to get more out of what you're putting work into, right? But then also, this is going to go away. It's like a clean, entire slate of, you know, the opportunity isn't going to be withheld from you anymore. You're not going to feel trapped anymore. You're going to be able to make progress in your, like, your relationships or, like, taking actions based on what you want in your heart. That's how a Knight of Cups reversed can come forward. And then, too, with the Four of Pentacles reversed, it's like you're not going to have to, like, pay those extra bills anymore or, like, pay for that extra thing or, like, it's going to feel less like you're just throwing money into a black hole and you can finally kind of like reserve your resources again, or it's like you don't have that cost to you anymore, however that resonates with you, okay? So, yeah, I mean, I apologize, pile 2. You've had a lot of crap going on lately that just does not look fun. I mean, this spread, thankfully this is a blessings reading because, like, I read reversals and a blessings reading is, like, the things that are going to improve that have been bad so far, right? And so it's, like, a lot of just the bad crap that has been going on recently finally comes to a close here. So I'm happy to report that for you, pile number 2. Let's look at your oracle cards and see if there's any other, like, details or facets to a lot of this. Spirit, anything else you want to say to pile 2 about, like, the benefits they'll harvest, the blessings, abundance here soon? So, I mean, you'll have greater clarity, pile 2. You won't feel as trapped. You'll be able to move forward and make progress where things just feel like it's been, as I said, molasses. That's how I would summarize everything so far, is it's felt like life has been kind of molasses for you recently. Just going so slow, and you're like, man, checking your watch, like, when are things going to pick up? There we go. This one I'm feeling drawn to. We have celebration. Okay, beautiful. Something to celebrate, which that is another meaning of the Four of Wands you had earlier, which was also the card of the home. So I do see happy tidings regarding your home and your living situation. I think once you make that choice, right, that will lead to that Six of Swords being upright again, of being able to, okay, finally I can move forward. Or for those of you literally looking to move, it's a good move. So I think you're going to find a really good place to stay if that is how that resonates with you, pile 2. Let's look at your nature's whispers here. Boy, I don't know what was causing so much chaos recently, pile number 2, but man. Well, at least the good news is I'm happy to report that that's changing for the better, but you have not been having a fun time, I can tell. Oh boy. Okay, anything else, Spirit? There we go. We have Contemplation, number 29. Time to actually think. And, maybe that's it too, pile number 2, like with the Queen of Swords reversed earlier, where it was like the inability to like figure things out, or like the inability to decide how you feel about things, whereas contemplation is the exact opposite. It's literally like, oh, I have time to actually contemplate and think deeply over things. So I think you'll have a lot of like more mental space too. That's maybe part of the related message to like the spiritual strength returning to you. More time to think, which of course, begets meaning that you have more time to actually relax. Things are slowing down finally in a good way. The things that you want to slow down are slowing down. The things that you want to speed up are speeding up. And then let's get the last oracle card and we'll read them all in tandem here. Feeling drawn to this part of the deck. Okay. This one right here. Thank you, Spirit. The Tree of Souls, Collective Wisdom, Kinship Group, and Library, number 42. I think there's a success in general for, like, you in terms of, like, in a group, too. Because the Tree of Souls is, like, collective energy. A kinship group of some sort too. I think if for those of you that are moving, you're also moving to a really good place in terms of how you get along with the other people that already live there. For those of you that are not moving, I would read that more so in terms of, like wisdom, kinship group, library. There was one card earlier that kind of reminded me of this. Kinship group. I'm going to draw just one more clarifier on that, though. Let's see. Spirit, can you tell me a little bit more about the Tree of Souls card for those that are not moving, literally? What do you mean by the Tree of Souls and the kinship group? Thank you. Okay. This one right here. Okay. We have the Wheel of Fortune. The Wheel of Fortune. Well, that's a really good sign, pile number 2. The Wheel of Fortune is good luck, good fortune, upright. I also see, I think that's kind of a side message for a lot of you. So for those of you that aren't moving, okay, asterisk. Those of you that are not moving, literally, this is a card of clarity on the Tree of Souls, meaning you're going to have really good luck in the near future in terms of groups that you're with, or also like for those of you that are in a period of time of collecting wisdom, or like you're trying to learn from a certain group of people, or you're trying to find like kindred souls, you're going to have really, really good luck and blessings in this area as well. Too, especially with that was the other card that I felt connected with. It was celebration too, because of course when we celebrate, so we can celebrate alone, but because of these cards, it's like you celebrating with a group of people. So just across the board, pile too, things are gonna get a lot better. I'm so sorry that things have been so stressful. Look at all these cards that came through. It's like, holy crap. All like everything feeling like a slog, everything feeling like nothing would manifest, lots of confusing things and curveballs thrown your way. But there is a light at the end of this tunnel here, pile number 2. You are going to give, as I said, just to summarize, like a choice to finally reap the fruits of your labor and everything that has been stressing you out lately, everything that's been bogging you down, greater spiritual power, and especially for those of you, like I said in the beginning, that have been having issues with like maybe like spiritual activity in the home recently, that's going to improve for different reasons. I guess it kind of depends on like your own situation for those of you listening right now, but greater spiritual strength, greater safety and satisfaction in the home, okay, because of that 4 of Wands too. Greater time just to like have time to pause to think with contemplation, and really, really good success and luck when it comes to like finding kinship and finding like groups that you click with, whether it be like you literally moving and the new neighborhood is fantastic and you get along really well with everybody there, or if it's not like literally moving in terms of like just regular socializing. Good celebrations coming your way. Good kindred spirits coming your way. Okay. So progress. Your blessings and abundance are progress and clarity and stability and things finally slowing down where you want them to and speeding up where you want them to. Okay. So that is your reading today, pile number 2. I was very happy to be able to tell you that a lot of things are going to improve very soon. As I said, not a fun spread, but as a blessing reading, that's what's going to improve, okay? So if the reading helped you, which most of all, that's what I care about, that it helps you walk away feeling helped or feel better, right? Especially with a blessing reading. Please like the video, comment down below, or subscribe to Lone Pine Tarot if you haven't done so already. And as is our tradition on the channel, I wish you a wonderful, far more peaceful rest of your day, pile number 2. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 2. Hello there, my beautiful pile number 3. Welcome to your pick a card reading about the abundance and blessings you're about to harvest. And of course, as you recall, you were drawn to the gorgeous Ethereal Visions Tarot for your deck today. Now, when we choose with decks, I always put the pile leader back in the deck so it's available for the message if need be. And let's draw your tarot spread right now. So Spirit, for pile number 3 today, for their highest best good, with their best intentions in mind, please tell us more about the abundance and blessings they're about to harvest. Thank you. Okay, let's draw from this section, pile number 3. Feel drawn to this part. And we're also going to draw one of the oracle decks to begin. The Earthly Souls and Spirits Moon Oracle, it's called. I finally memorized the deck name. Previous readings, I was like, something about moon spirits or something. It's kind of a lengthy title. Beautiful deck, though. Highly recommend it. Let's see what else Spirit has to say. Always love blessing readings. I love giving people good news, right? There we go, pile number 3. All right, let's unveil your oracle card to begin. Thank you for your patience as I drew the cards. Well, that's pretty good right off the bat. We have success. Okay, so pile number 3. First and foremost, Spirit is saying part of the abundance and blessings you're about to harvest is related to success of some sort. Now, specifically, this depiction is of a witch, and she almost looks like she has a shop. She's like going up the steps. She's got a sign here advertising for spells, right? If you could see that on camera, I think you probably can. So especially for those of you that have like a small business, for those of you that like have been really hard at work on something with that small business, lots of success coming your way in that aspect here soon, okay? Lots of orders or items sold or services bought, however your business operates, right? What you technically sell. That, or even if you don't own a small business, pile number 3, that's a really good sign for everything to do with where you work in general as well, okay? Or, you know, for those of you that are retired or currently not employed, if you're looking for employment, literally, she's walking in the door to a business. That sounds like a nice job offer to me, right? Or for those of you that are retired, not looking for employment, I see like just success in general with anything that is related to material finances or stability in your life here in the near future. So that's kind of one of your main themes. Beautiful to start off with. And I love these little kitties here. Of course, I'm biased because I have a black cat, but we'll put that over here to the left. Let's see more with your tarot spread. So first up to bat, we have Temperance reversed. Love that card. That gilding is just gorgeous. Okay. Kudos to Matt Hughes for the design of this deck. And then we have the Emperor, another major arcana. Lots of important things coming up here soon with all these major arcana. We'll see how many make up the spread, though. We have the Four of Cups reversed. All right. We're going to be noticing something, I'll tell you that, with that card having come out. Number 4, we have the Four of Swords. Lots of fours. Fours tend to represent stability, balance in things. So too, especially if related to your small business or your employment, whatever your situation is, I do see a lot of the abundance and blessings coming forward being related to stability because of the abundance of fours that I'm seeing here. Okay. And then last but not least, we have the Devil reversed. Great to get reversed. fantastic to get reversed. So yes, you do have a lot of major arcana. You have the Temperance card, you have the Emperor, and the Devil. And what that means, pile number 3, if you've not seen any of my readings before, how I personally read a lot of major arcana in a spread is that the period of time coming up is pivotal to your life. Because sometimes you go through life and you have periods of time where it's kind of like, ho-hum, things are kind of the same. It's like a steady plateau, nothing too exciting. Major arcana spreads are kind of the opposite, where a lot of important things are happening. So I see a lot of important milestones you're going to be crossing here soon. That might be obviously probably a part of the success coming forward for you, pile number 3. And especially because of the specific cards that you got. Temperance reversed, Emperor, Devil reversed. These pivotal moments are related to gaining more balance and moderation in your life. That's where Temperance reversed comes in. Because in a blessing reading like this, I tend to read negative cards, typically like they would be in a normal spread, as what's going to improve, because we're asking Spirit, well, what is coming that's positive, right? So yeah, Temperance reversed would mean greater moderation. Things coming greater into balance, maybe even literally with finances, like getting your accounts balanced, right? We have the Emperor upright, which already is a positive card, but he represents masculine energy. He represents positive actions taken. He represents control, stability, because once again, he is number 4 in the deck entirely, in general. Lots of force. 4 is also going to maybe be a synchronicity number that you might want to look out for in the near future, because you have literally 3 cards that are 4. Okay. Pile number 3. So, yeah, keep an eye out for number 4. He's also a master of his domain, too, though, pile number 3. So, things that have felt kind of maybe unsteady for a while, or things that have felt like they've been out of your control, it's like you're finally overtaking the chessboard of life. And you're like, okay, I've got all of my ducks in a row. I've got all of my pieces accounted for. I know exactly what strategy I want to move each piece. I have control over this lay of the land, over this landscape. I have a plan. Things go to fruition based on that plan. Just really good success in general in terms of like I said, having authority and control and stability. Okay. And then the other major arcana is the Devil reversed. Fantastic card to get reversed, okay? Especially, in general, but also in a blessings reading, because that represents a get out of jail card. Not literally. Well, maybe, I don't know. I don't know if anyone does watch my readings from jail, but maybe literally. Maybe you have a jail release coming up, if so. But for most people, the Devil reversed is like a metaphorical get out of jail card, because it's like the feeling of I am finally freed from something that was holding me back. I'm finally let out of this cage that I felt trapped in. Okay, so whatever you felt trapped in recently, you're going to see a large trajectory, pile 3, of having greater control over your situation and over your freedom. And maybe that's even why, for those of you that do have a small business, maybe that's why you went for a small business. You wanted greater freedom. You wanted greater control over your destiny and over what you do in your day-to-day life. Can totally relate. I'm self-employed myself. I get you 100% in pile 3 if that's your situation, right? And so it's like that coming to even greater fruition. Like in the future, pile 3, when you look back at this time in your life, because of all these major arcanas being such a pivotal moment of life, lots of milestones, as I said, you're going to think, wow, look at the strides I made. Look at how much I freed myself from something that was holding me back. I brought everything into balance. I mean, it's almost like being a gymnast and finally like landing the perfect flip off of, I don't know, the balance beam. I don't know gymnastics very well. I was never a very graceful person. Anyone that knows gymnastics, I think you do. Do people do backflips off the balance beam? I can't remember. Anyways, someone correct me. That's more graceful than me. Anyways, you know what I mean. Yes, and into with all the force, like I said, stability, and then the 4 of Cups reversed and the 4 of Swords reversed. 4 of Cups reversed is things finally start coming to your attention. Maybe things and opportunities that you didn't notice before. It's like all of a sudden you put on these goggles or these new glasses, new prescription, right? And you're like, oh my God, I can see everything really clearly now. I can understand, because typically the 4 of Cups is someone that is not paying attention to something. He's meditating, he's kind of just looking at his 3 options in front of him, but he doesn't notice this option of this cup kind of almost floating on wings as if from the universe or spirit itself behind him. But reversed, it's like, oh, I finally noticed that thing. That finally is available to me because I can see it. Okay, so I will draw one more clarifier card on that because I want to ask Spirit more specifically, like, what's the thing you notice? Because by knowing what you're supposed to notice, you're going to more easily notice it, right? You know, duh. So we'll ask more clarity on that. But then you also have, just for the last card to explain the overall spread, we already explained the Devil, but we also have the Four of Swords reversed. Four of Swords reversed, pile 3, things becoming more active, quite straightforward, quite clear and simple, okay? So things that have felt kind of sleepy, things that have felt kind of like, business isn't picking up, or things have been kind of slow. Finally, the universe snaps its fingers, boom, things speed up again, things wake up. Just a great time of fruition and abundance for you in terms of these areas of your life. Now, clarifier on the Four of Cups, I promise that, and I will do that right now. So, Spirit, for the Four of Cups reversed, can you tell me a little bit more for pile 3? What's the thing that they're going to notice that they didn't notice before? Like, what's that blessing? I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like pile 3, oftentimes with the Four of Cups, it's something that's been in our life already, but we just didn't notice it. And we just didn't understand that it was available to us, so maybe this will help you find it faster even because of this reading, because I'm telling you, or Spirit, I should say. I'm just the messenger, right? Spirit is telling you what it is. What's the thing they're going to notice that's a blessing or abundance? I actually feel drawn to both of these cards, so I'm going to draw these two. All right, Spirit, spill the beans. What is it? Oh, interesting. You know, we had the Tower pop up in a different reading today. Lots of Tower with blessings, which is weird, because normally, and don't run away from the reading pile number 3, usually the Tower means a disaster. But we did ask what's something that you're going to notice, and this is a blessings reading, so that does change the meaning a little bit. And then you have the Moon reversed. More major arcana, too. Both of them are. As I said, very important time of your life here in the near future regarding milestones. And the Moon reversed, pile 3, also, because I explained the Tower, but the Moon reversed is things that were deceiving before finally becoming realized. Illusions being broken. So reading that with the Four of Cups, you finally noticing something. At first, this is going to sound negative, pile 3, but Spirit is saying that this is a blessing. Okay, so hear me out. There's something that you're not noticing right now that's actually a disaster in disguise. Hear me out. I don't think it's a disaster related to, like, something that... Well, it could be. For some of you, this might be a disaster that you avoid because it's a blessing of you noticing something and the illusion being revealed for what it really is. And you're like, oh no, that's a disaster waiting to happen. And it's you put the kibosh on it, or like you stop it before it gets bad. So it's a blessing of having avoided a disaster because the illusion is revealed for what it really is before it comes to a bad point, before it gets to the disaster point. Okay. For some of you, though, I'm also hearing it could possibly manifest in the way of, I don't know why, and feel free to weigh down in the comments down below if this resonates. For some of you, it's like you notice someone else that looked like, it's either like they suggested you do something, or it's like someone around you, or that you at least are aware of, that was really high and mighty about how successful they were compared to you. It's like what they tried to tell you to do, like, oh, I'm successful, so follow what I say, you know, your ideas are poo-poo, or whatever they said to you, something along those lines. Because I'm seeing this Tower almost as like a manifestation, manifestation of like an ego of some sort. That's where this is coming from, on the other person's half, not yours. And it's like, finally someone gets like their just desserts for having been egotistical. It's like they really weren't as successful as they said they were. That's why the illusion is revealed with the Moon reversed. And you finally notice it, although maybe the cracks were kind of being seen before. And so because of that, I mean, I know we like to say, you know, comparison is the theft of joy. But you'll feel in comparison that like, oh God, I feel so successful compared to this person or this like group of people that I thought were so far ahead of me before. And or it's like you realizing I was right to go on the path I was going on and not taking their advice that was being given out of ego. Because really what they were trying to tell me to do was an illusion. It wasn't the best route to take. So actually it might have been good that you didn't notice it or you didn't really go along with it, pile number 3, because of that with that 4 of Cups reverse. So in general though, just however that might apply to each and every one of you, it's you finally noticing something that makes you realize you avoided a disaster, or it helps you avoid a disaster that was waiting in disguise, okay? So, like I said, don't run away from the reading just because the Tower came out. This is a positive Tower, which is very rare, but in a blessing reading, that's how I would read it with these 2 cards combined, okay? So let's look at your Oracle cards, too. I want to see what else Spirit has to say about your blessings and abundance. Anything else, Spirit? What else is coming to fruition for them in the near future? Also, I will draw... Actually, let me do that right now. I apologize. I was going to go to the Oracle cards, but I want to do this, too. Spirit, can you give me one clarifier on the Success card? What's the success more in general for them? Okay, well, this fell out on my lap. Ooh, Ace of Wands. A new opportunity with your ambitions. I will actually draw from the deck, though, too. That one just kind of fluttered into my lap like a butterfly. I was like, where'd that come from? So we'll take it because I don't believe in coincidences. Spirit, anything else with that success? Especially for those of you that have like a small business or something you've been working really hard on. This one right here. Okay. Oh, speaking of working really hard on, 8 of Pentacles reversed. Literally means not having to work hard on something. It's going to get easier. So the success coming forward is it's going to get easier because there's some brand new idea related to your ambition that's going to be given or like offered to you. Something that will help you with your ambitions and your passions, because that's like what the Ace of Wands is all about, being a fire card in tarot. Okay. So the success is, yeah, like in general, good things coming for the business or whatever it is you've been working hard on, pile number 3. But at the same time, too, it's like things are going to get easier with that 8 of Pentacles reverse. You're not going to have to work quite as hard. It's like easy strokes of luck that come forward. And it's like, oh, this month is a lot easier than last month. But it doesn't mean that like you're not going to have as much material success. It's just one of those months where it's like it just goes a lot smoother and things are like less frustrating. Okay. Or not months, but I guess there's not really a time on this. Although I guess I would say like a month for like what's coming soon, right? Maybe up to a few months from now. So that's beautiful. New opportunities with your ambitions and your passions. A new spark. Also, maybe the Ace of Wands can represent a reinvigoration and interest with something. So maybe you've been feeling kind of burnt out a little bit. And the Ace of Wands then can mean your success can stem from like a sudden burst of energy of like, oh, I don't feel burnt out anymore. I feel like reinvigorated for this thing. So that's also a blessing too when, maybe you've been working so hard. Because, yeah, an Ace of Wands with an 8 of Pentacles reversed can mean, oh, I was burnt out, but then now I have something that makes me feel energized again. Now we have new beginnings too. Fantastic time if there's anything new that you're starting to, pile number 3. Anything that you're starting in the near future that's brand new, it's going to go really well because of this being a blessings reading, right? New beginnings are fruitful. Let's keep drawing your cards so we get the full picture. Anything else, Spirit? What else do you want to say about their I was going to say blessings. Blah. Blessings and abundance. There we go. I talk too fast sometimes, and then I realize I said blessings instead of blessings. That's okay. I'm a Gemini. I can talk too fast, right? I'm an air sign. That's my job. Anyways. There we go. We have a vertical one. Number 21, Homeward Traveler, completion, reunion, and return. Okay, it's also a good time for things to have been getting, done. Getting things done. It's interesting because we have something about like new beginnings, like new things going really well, but also things being completed really well and being finished. Okay, so good finish with things, good starting new things. It might also represent that because of both of these cards having come out being opposites, sort of, that you're coming upon a time here, pile number 3, where something like a big project you've been working on ends really well, and then like a new project starts up really well too. It's kind of a liminal space between, fantastic curtain call on the old project or the old thing that you were doing, and then fantastic opening to like applause of like the new thing that you start after that's finished. Okay, so that's another blessing coming your way. Also, I see if any of you are visiting home at all, or like your hometown. I don't know why this is specifically coming forward, but I'll say it because it did. Things returning to the way that they were. Successful travel if you are going homeward in any way. Or safe travel, I guess I should say. I guess you kind of knew that when I said successful travel, but... And let's look at your nature's whispers here. This one right there. Spirit says pick this one. We have Inner Truths with number 16. She's looking at different portals here. One goes to a beach. One goes to a beautiful kind of wintry property. One goes to space. One is summer. Just different paths here that she's come across. Different opportunities and paths. And two, she has that candle almost like that Ace of Wands. So once again, we see a re-emphasis of synchronicity here with the symbolism of the Ace of Wands and the candle here, pile 3, of that reinvigorated energy, especially after times of burnout maybe that you've been having recently. And actually, success can reinvigorate us after burnout because it's like kindling for the fire. I mean, sometimes when we're burnt out and we feel like things are not going very well, our fire kind of dies a bit, right? But then we get success, and then it's kindling and tinder, and it goes whoosh, like the fire comes back up again. Like that Ace of Wands, that fire. It helps you find your way, and it helps you see these different opportunities too. Like we were saying here with the Four of Cups earlier, I know we talked about the whole thing with the moon reversed and the tower with that, but that can also mean too that now you're seeing, because of this reinvigoration, you're not just stuck on this one path of, oh, well, I'm burnt out. Let's just, keep going, cog in the machine, just keep grinding along this one path. Now you're more excited, so you see more paths open to you, more opportunities, okay? And also, too, with Inner Truths, it's a good time in terms of abundance and blessings as well, of you realizing more truths internally, okay? More understanding of what you really want and honing it down to, like, this is specifically what I want to do. Because maybe, especially for those of you that have started a new business, or maybe like at a project at work, however this might apply to you, been kind of just throwing things at the wall and seeing what sticks, then the success comes along and you're like, oh, this is something I'm really good at. This is something that really resonates well with, my customers if you own a business, or, resonates well with me as a person. Oh, this is such a good fit. It's kind of like finding like a perfect pair of socks. I know that sounds really odd, but when you find like the perfect pair of socks and they're really cozy and comfortable and they don't bunch up and give you like, what do you call it when you get like bumps in your sock? Sock bumps. There you go. At least that's what my family called it. Very comfortable. You're like, oh, this fits perfectly well. It's snug. It's cozy. It's like you find something that's at least, if not fully your calling, like very close or closer to your calling of like what really resonates with your soul in terms of what satisfies you with the path that you're currently on. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting too, because we have a lot of path imagery too here, both in Inner Truths and Homeward Traveler, although this is like a river, but rivers are paths too, right? Especially when you travel by boat. So progress made forward in the material and earth, progress made forward in the emotional with the water here in the symbolism. Just a lot of beautiful progress, avoiding disaster, like we said too with that Tower reversed message, feeling free, things ending well, things beginning very well, great success, reinvigoration of your energy we discussed too, things being brought into greater balance. And then remember the Emperor too, pile number 3, as well as all the 4s that you got. A lot of 4s in abundance here. 4s are stability. 4s are a feeling of things settling and kind of becoming more, maybe things were kind of shaky or chaotic before, and then it's like, oh, okay, now I got control over this. I got this down pat. That kind of thing. Okay. And that too, for those of you that maybe did recently start a new job, that can cause feelings of kind of like instability or like, oh man, I'm not so sure. One of the blessings then for you too coming up is, okay, now I've got a greater handle on this, and now I'm kicking butt at this particular job or whatever it is that you're doing, okay? So That's your reading for today, my wonderful pile number 3. I hope, of course, most of all that you liked it and that it helped you and that it resonated with you and your story. If so, please like the video itself, comment down below your feedback and how it resonated with you if you would like, as well as please subscribe if you haven't done so already. It's just a tiny button click away for you, which helps me immeasurably with growing the channel and providing free readings to everyone. And as is our tradition on Lone Pine Tarot, I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, pile number 3, with all of your fires restoked, with great endings, great beginnings, feeling freer and avoiding disasters, okay, as your reading spoke about. And I hope to see you in the next reading. Bye, pile 3.